Dealing with time. As with yesterday's overwhelm video, I get that we have more busy and challenging and full on lives than at any point in history. I get that. I also get from countless thousands of conversations with people over the last 20 years that often the way we approach and use our time isn't setting us up for the most beneficial use of it. And I get that more and more a lack of time or being too busy has become kind of our go-to reason for not doing something. It's what we've been taught as a society over the last few decades to give us a reason for something not happening. Because ultimately we all have the same amount of time. We all have 10,080 minutes in the week. And by far the most powerful way to get clarity on how we're using that and how we could redistribute that finite asset of time is to track it accurately. And I also know from experience that not many people that I mention this to will do it because it's a bit uncomfortable. It's a bit of a pain in the arse. It's like tracking our food. I get it. But I also get that to say we're too busy to look at how we're using our time to make better use of it, when you think about it, makes absolutely no sense. It's like saying we haven't got enough money to get more money. We want to use the time we've got more effectively. We have to look at how we're using it. And the best way I've ever known to do that is to keep a 15-minute log of what we're doing for about a week. So pain in the arse as it is, write down on a bit of paper, in an app, however you want to do it, what we're doing every 15 minutes for a week. And possibility will jump out of the page at you. If we don't know what we're doing with our calories, we don't know how to redistribute them. If we don't know what we're doing with our time, we again don't know how to make better use of it. When we record what we're doing every 15 minutes, firstly, we'll be astounded at how much time there is that we just think, what did I do in that particular time? We'll be astounded at potentially the opportunity for more efficient approaches. We can batch certain activities. We might realise that we do something 47 times in the week, whereas doing it twice a day for a slightly longer period but less overall time is sufficient. We may decide that rather than checking our email every 20 minutes, we check it 3 times a day for 10 minutes. We might decide that we batch cook certain meals, or we just do one big weekly shop rather than several, or we do a certain task at work that requires loading up of a certain program or going to a certain place. We do all of them together as much as is possible. We might just decide to stop doing certain things or to do less of them. We'll be astounded how much time we spend doing non-essential activities, and I include myself in that. I've never known anyone to keep an accurate log of their time for a week to not be astounded at how much time they spent doing stuff that wasn't particularly important compared to what they might have predicted they were doing. We might realise we're just doing stuff that, again, we don't need to do, or maybe that someone else can do. But ultimately, we're never going to get more effective at using our time without getting a clear definition of where it's going at the moment. Again, trying to change our food without tracking our calories, we can do it, but it's just guesswork to some degree. Trying to get better use of our time and create more time without keeping track of what we're currently doing with our time, again, is just guessing. I get it's a bit of a pain in the arse. I get it. But I also get that saying we're too busy to make better use of our time makes no sense whatsoever. Try tracking what you're doing every 15 minutes for the next 3 to 5 days, maybe 7, and if that hasn't been worthwhile, then I will eat my hat.